What's up, y'all? Got these week 13 picks here. This week I'm going to start off with my elite NFL teams. Number 6, I'm going with the Texans at 8-3. They've gone 8 in a row now, showing a lot of momentum. We'll see how far they can carry that. They're looking good right now. At number 5, I got the Kansas City Chiefs at 9-2. Some people might think I should have them ranked a little bit higher, but hey, they got no defense. All right. Number 4, speaking of defense, Chicago Bears 8-3. Got them as number 4 team. They're able to win with the backup quarterback and Chase Daniel, so I still like this team. Number 3, got to stick with the New England Patriots on that one. I mean, they're always dangerous, even though they started off kind of rocky, and they're still kind of shaky right now, but they got what it takes to win. So next, number 2, I've got the Rams at 10-1. Probably the best team really on paper because their only loss was at the Saints in New Orleans, who I've got number 1, the Saints, 10-1. Their one loss was to the Buccaneers, but that was the first week of the season, and the Saints are rolling really hard right now, looking like they're Super Bowl bound. So let's get into these picks. Speaking of the Saints, Saints are playing Thursday night against the Cowboys. All right, 7.5 point spread. I do not like the Saints to cover that spread. I think Dallas is going to give them a game. I'm going to go with Dallas with the points, but I do like New Orleans for the win. So New Orleans to win it, Dallas plus the 7.5. The over-under is 53. I also like this game to go over. I think Dallas will be able to move the ball decently, as will the Saints, and I think they're going to go over that 53 points. Now, next one, Sunday, we've got the Colts playing in Jacksonville. 4.5 favorites, or the Colts are 4.5 point favorites. I like the Colts to get the win there, and I like them to cover that 4.5 points. Jacksonville's kind of in shambles. Fournette suspended. They're going out there with a backup quarterback, so I don't think Parkey's going to be able to do anything. And I think the Colts should. They got a lot of momentum right now. They're going to go out there and get that win in Jacksonville. Next, we've got the Cardinals. Cardinals are playing the Packers. In Green Bay. Green Bay's 14.5 point favorites. I don't like that spread. I do like the Packers to win the game, though. Arizona's not that bad, but they may lose that big. But, Green Bay's going to get that win. I'm pretty confident in that one. Next, we got the Panthers playing in Tampa Bay. Now, I like the Panthers to win this, and they've kind of disappointed me on the road a couple times this year, but I think they're going to be able to get the win because Tampa Bay, they've got quarterback problems going back and forth now. They do match up pretty well. The over-under is 56, but I don't like that. I don't think they're going to score that many points. I think Carolina will get the win. They're 3.5 point favorites, but I don't like that either because it could come down to a couple of points or even a field goal. So I just like Carolina to win in that one. Next, we got Baltimore playing in Atlanta against the Falcons. Lamar Jackson's got the starting job in Baltimore for right now. I expect that they will be able to get another win. Atlanta's defense has been weak all year, and they've shown that they can't get any pressure on the quarterback. So Baltimore's going to be able to run, not only with the running back, but the quarterbacks as well. So they're 1.5 point favorites in Atlanta. I like Baltimore to cover that spread. The next game, we've got the Browns. Browns are playing in Houston against the Texans. Texans are 6 point favorites. Don't like the spread. Don't know what to expect from the Browns. Greg Williams has got them playing some old school football there with Nick Chubb. Mayfield is restrained and playing smart right now. So Cleveland's probably going to give them a pretty good game. You might expect the Texans to win it. Next, we got Buffalo playing in Miami. Now, if this game wasn't in Miami, I'd probably go with Buffalo. I still kind of think Buffalo's going to be in this one. Miami's 5 point favorites. I don't like that. I think Buffalo's going to cover the 5 point spread, but I think Miami is going to win simply because of the climate and the home field advantage. Buffalo's pretty much out of it for the year. Miami's still hanging on by a thread. So I think Miami's going to get that win. Their crowd and the weather, even though it's not going to be too humid, it's going to be pretty decent. It's going to be around 75, maybe 80 degrees. But it's not going to be too bad, but I still think that that will benefit the Dolphins. Now, next game, we got Chicago Bears playing in New York against the Giants. They don't have a line for this game. I'm sure it's because they don't know whether Trubisky's going to start or not. I don't think it matters. I think the Bears are going to go in there, and their defense is probably going to stomp all over the Giants. I think the Giants are going to have to start figuring out what they're going to do coming for next season. Now, we've got Denver playing in Cincinnati. I went with Denver in this one only because Denver has been winning. They beat the Chargers, they beat the Steelers, so they're out of it for the year, but they're getting their game together for this year. Maybe they can make a push to try to get a wild card. Who knows? But Cincinnati's been falling apart. Lost to the Browns last week, got embarrassed at home. It's 4.5 point spread. I don't really know. Cincinnati might try to give them a little bit of a game, but I don't like them to win this game at all. I think that Denver's probably going to get this win here. It's a 43.5 point over/under. I like that game to go over. I think Cincinnati will be able to score. Denver has kind of abandoned being a defensive team, and they've kind of moved up to the offensive side. They're giving up more points, but they're also scoring more. So I expect to get a little bit of a shootout there and go over that 43.5. All right, next we've got the Rams are playing in Detroit. Now, Rams are 10-point favorites. I don't really know about that one. They've been exposed a little bit on defense, playing some tough teams like the Chiefs and playing against the Saints. But I think they're going to win. I don't know about that spread, but I think the Rams are going to win the game. The over-under is a big 55 points. I do not like that. But I don't like it. I think that they're not going to have to go that high. I think the Rams will probably take control of the game, get a good lead. Maybe Detroit will come back in the end and tighten the score up a little bit in the end. But I don't know about a 55-point game. Next, we're going to go with the Chiefs playing in Oakland. All right, for obvious reasons, I'm taking the Chiefs. 15-point favorites. I hate to say it, and I don't really like taking big spreads, but I like the 15 points. I like giving up 15 points in Oakland. Even though the Chiefs' defense isn't any good, Oakland is just really confused right now, and I think the Chiefs are just going to ball all over Oakland. I think it's just going to ball all over them. Over-under's 56. I don't know about that one. I don't know if they're going to get there. Chiefs might win the game, 48-3 or something. 48-10. Well, that would get over it. But anyway, going to go on now. Jets against the Titans. Teams aren't playing really well right now, but I like the Titans at home. 9-point favorites. I like the Jets plus the 9 points because I think neither one are that good, and I think it's going to be close. Neither one are going to be able to pass the ball or be able to run it a little bit. I think it'll be a tight field goal kicking game. I don't like Tennessee giving up 9 points, even though they're at home. So I like the Jets plus the 9, but I like Tennessee for the win. Now, next we've got the Vikings are playing in New England. This might be the game of the week here. New England's 5.5-point favorites. I think New England's going to win. Don't know by how much. I think it may come down to a field goal or so. May go to overtime, but the over-under is 48.5. I like this one to go over that 48.5. I think it's going to turn into a shootout between Tom Brady and Cousins, going with Adam Thielen and Diggs. And Tom Brady, he throws the ball to everybody except the water boy. So it's going to be a shootout, I think. Next, we got San Francisco. 49ers are playing in Seattle. I think this is going to be tighter than they think. Seattle 10-point favorites. I think San Francisco is going to be able to keep it close. I like them with the 10 points. However, I think Seattle is going to get the win in that one. That is the game. The next game rather is the Sunday night game. We've got the Chargers playing in Pittsburgh. Now, Pittsburgh's 3.5-point favorites. I'm sorry, I like the Chargers in that one. I like the Chargers with the 3.5. I like the Chargers to win that game. I just think that the past 2 weeks that the Steelers have been throwing the ball way too much. I mean, they had a balanced game against Jacksonville. They put up 52 points. They look like world beaters. Since then, they've been throwing the ball way too much. 40, 50 times a game, only running the ball 10, 12 times a game. Now, that's unacceptable. And I think they're going to fall into that trap again against the Chargers. And the Steelers are going to lose at home. And that's what it's going to take to wake them up to realize they need to get back to a ground game. So next, we've got Monday night. We've got the Redskins. Redskins are playing in Philly. I like Philly for that win. It's going to be close once again. I think this one's going to come down to play calling and generalship, and I just like I like Doug Peterson better than I like Jay Gruden. What can I say? So I think it's going to be close. Over/under is 43.5. I like that to go over, but I don't like Philly to cover that 6-point spread. I wouldn't take the Redskins plus the 6 either. I don't like the point spread in that one at all, but I do like it to go over the 43.5. I think they're going to get into a bit of a shootout, and Peterson's better at doing that than Gruden is.